Good turn. Limone.
Link up from the midfield to the strike is just causing a whole lot of problems for not only for Cosmos but throughout the tournament.
You identified him in the pre-match build-up as one of the players to watch, and he's showed us glimpses already. Charles de Ketelare turned 17 last week. Any player born in 2001 or after is eligible for this tournament.
The Brugge midfield is just suffocating the Cosmos players in the middle of the park, not giving them too many options, getting in front of the ball, forcing them to play the ball wide and not the forward pass, and resulting in the strikers for Cosmos not getting much action on the ball.
Kervelts combines with his fullback Dupont. Now, Dupont just being crowded out for a moment. There was a man on him and a man kind of blocking the angle. That's a nice touch from De Ketelare. Limon. De Ketelare again tries to get his head to it. Now De Wolf. Wonderful clearance again, this time by the head and fired in low by Jente Kervelts.
The Cosmos defense not being decisive there with the clearance and just giving the Brugge attackers 2 or 3 chances, which shouldn't really happen. Get rid of that ball, make the big clearance the first chance, and deal with the pressure. A bit hesitant from the keeper, scuffed the shot, and once again just a dubious clearance from the Cosmos and giving them another opportunity on goal, and fortuitous for Cosmos this time.
It was Mochache Matapo that stooped to head that one clear. I think the ball just died on him slightly. He thought that it might come around the height of maybe his midriff, so he'd be ducking to head it away. Eventually it came to about foot height, but he'd already committed to the header. A little bit of indecision there as to who would pick up the ball. In the end, it's Abuza. Goes past Munezero nicely, but Munezero recovers, so he goes past him again. And let's fly, my word! That would have been spectacular had it found the back of the net, and it was very close to doing so.
What an amazing run by Gabuza. If I were the Cosmos players, I'd try to get this man on the ball more often. Picked it up at a halfway line, challenging his defender, shimmering a bit, being very direct, bringing it onto his stronger foot, and a great effort at goal.
And I want to get the ball to this young man more often. Well, this hoisted towards the general area that he occupies, but he's not prepared to chase that one as it goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. Nice run from the centre half. Now De Ketelare lays it off and slid into the side netting there by Jente Kervelts. A appeal for a corner. They win the referee's decision. They will have the corner kick now.
Brugge continuing to knock in on the door of Cosmos, and just not clinical enough.
That's a lovely ball by Stanton. I say that because although it may have looked like he didn't give his teammate much of an angle to work with, Jente Kervelds didn't have to break his stride at all.
Very intelligently just holding onto the ball and deciding when to play that ball, anticipating the run from the winger, and as you mentioned, just laying it into his pathway, allowing him not to take a touch and have a strike on goal immediately, but
absolutely didn't require a touch and allowed him to come steaming in at the pace that he was already running. No wonder they're getting him on the ball so frequently. Yes, Kervelds, Stanton. This time doesn't receive it. Now it is with the captain of Jomo Cosmos. ZUMA again. Munizero cuts that one out. Stanton goes past ZUMA. Munizero.
Stanton really reminds me of Icelandic player Gudjonsson. Very neat on the ball.
Yep. More so than Gudjonsson's actual son, who plays for Espanyol's under 16 team, and I say under 16 because Espanyol have brought their under 16 team to this tournament. Now fired across goal. Asoma. That's a loose touch.
The Belgians really dictating play, but a bit sloppy up front. It's like they just take their foot off the pedal, and every time losing opportunities, and it just keeps Cosmos in the game. And I did say we hope that Cosmos break the duck and get off break their scoring duck, and if they do manage to do that before Brugge, it changes the complexity of the game, and Brugge will find themselves chasing the game as they did in the first match against Sundowns, and they didn't do too well with coming from behind.
Of course, the senior team are well respected in Europe and one of the most decorated in their home country. They've had a terrific season in the Jubilee Pro League. They work with a very strange format though. 16 teams, exactly like our domestic league here, but once they've established the top 6, they go into the playoff where they play again, the top 6 and the bottom 6. The bottom 6 to determine who will be relegated. Well, there's one that's automatically relegated, and the top 6 to determine who will take the championship. So this season they've come top of the table after 30 games by miles and miles, but they still may not win the title. They play home and away against the 5 teams that followed them in the standings.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that, Grant. It happens in Switzerland as well,
Yep.
but I think it's because there's a limited amount of teams in the league, and what a strange format to play to, but it certainly gives you an opportunity after the first round of matches. They then divide the top to the bottom, and if you are in the top 6, as you mentioned, you still stand a chance of winning the league. So a little different, peculiar, but it seems to be working.
Yeah, they won, and I say that in inverted commas as we just look at Ketla Hadebe receiving some treatment, but they won the season by 12 points. And with a very impressive 67. And it could mean that the team that finished the 6th far behind them could actually win the trophy. The Jomo Cosmos do have subs available to them for Patrick TSHISIKHAWE to throw onto the field. Played as a centre-back during his playing days for Jomo Cosmos. starting way back in 1997, all the way until 2005. Can't remember whether I mentioned on the first day, but that overlaps the time period that our very own Lucky Mklati spent at Jomo Cosmos. I was asking the coach whether he has any fond memories of Lucky. I won't share.
Some things are just left out there. Just safer.
Yeah, Lucky would have been a younger player just starting out, while Patrick was already established in the first team.
We do know that Lucky Mklati went on to have a illustrious career, winning many cups, and it's just evidence of the disciplined footballer he was. A real example to the youngsters out here, and a great ambassador for South African football and for the mighty Buccaneers.
And yeah, true one club man, which we don't see many of. Has 2 Coca-Cola cups to his name. So they haven't had to make a change here. Khadebe is up and running again after a few repairs. And we only have a few minutes until the end of the half, where they can just replenish themselves. A lot of the game concentrated in the middle of the park so far. A middle of the park that Club Brugge are controlling.
Certainly most of the play in the middle, and the Belgians just dictating play, but as we mentioned, 29% in the final third for the Belgians. Not too different to Jomo Cosmos, which has 22%, and really more of the opportunities falling for the Belgians, but really not making the most of them.
And of course the percentages refer to the time spent in those areas and not who had possession of the ball. Brugge have been composed in possession even inside their own half. Munizero. Ball hoisted high into the air. Brought down by Cosmos, but Asoma tries to claim it. And it ended up at the feet of Molefe. Now out wide for Jomo Cosmos. Still they drive on here. And Abraham Mashala has called for a foul.
Cosmos' strength is certainly down the flanks, and they'll be looking to get the left wing and the right wing more onto the ball, but further up the field. They seem to be receiving it on the halfway line, and after that, with a compact Brugge defense, very difficult to go past 2 or 3 players. So I think the coach should be looking at that, try and receiving the ball further up the field, where you're able to take your one-on-ones and get some danger into the box.
Still a fair amount of pain here, and unsurprisingly the man who's fouled him is going to be the first into the book. VANTHOURNOUT is one of the changes that's been made for today. One of 3, the other of course in between the sticks of the 15-year-old Lemons, who now has to try and deal with this free kick. Their third change was up front, Jente Kervelts out on the right hand side. So it seems as though the injury is not really to the footwear is taken out, but more maybe to the groin as he fell. So fired towards goal and into the safe hands of Lemons. Now Kervelts trying to do too much. Jomo Cosmos have an opportunity inside the closing seconds of this half.
Once again, the structure of the Jomo Cosmos team, not just allowing them to come out of that packed area. Most of the players caught on the left-hand side of the field, and very little options on the opposite side of the field. So very easy for Brugge to just win back possession. And you see immediately when Brugge gets the ball, they open up wide, the left back pulls out, the right back pulls out, and they're able to just stroke it and maintain possession.
Into 2 minutes of additional time at the end of this first period. Here come Jomo Cosmos. This is Molife. Has gone past one and turns over possession to ZUMA, who forces a sharp save out of the goalkeeper. That's better from Cosmos.
The first time Diketelari really just loses possession and puts his team under pressure. A bit of a lucky bounce there, but nevertheless, good strike and a good attempt for Cosmos. Unfortunately, couldn't just take the lead moving into the halfway time.
Nkosinathi who's come back onto the field after receiving treatment a minute or so ago. Cleared away. Now the chase is on, and getting there first is Limone, tracking back nicely. Did touch the ball out of play though. That wrist strapping he's wearing can't be coincidental. He knows who he looks like, surely.
It's actually scary, the striking resemblance. I hope that David Luiz wasn't visiting Belgium on pre-season, you know what I mean?
Oh, Stiger. Now Monizero trying to clear. Not the best headed clearance there. Opportunity. Sibisi. It's a throw in. And I think they'll have just maybe about enough time to take the throw before the referee blows the whistle here. So ball in. And no one arriving at the back posts. It would have been easy to not at home had someone been stationed in that area. But as it is, we go into the halftime interval with the score unchanged. It is Club Brugge who have probably put together the better pieces of play and created the better chances. But Patrick TSHISIKHAWE has a few moments to enthuse over. His boys have showed glimpses of what they're capable of. And perhaps he'll be able to remedy some of the mistakes they've made in order to make it happen for them in the second period. So as we head into that only 10-minute interval here at the Nike Center in Soweto, it is Jomo Cosmos of South Africa and Club Brugge of Belgium that are deadlocked at 0-0.
Well, no goals yet in this Group A meeting between Jomo Cosmos and Club Brugge. As well as much as Club Brugge are getting into that goal third of Jomo Cosmos and just enjoying the lion's share of possession, I can tell you what, Ezenkoti have been making life very difficult. They've been imperious in defense, just doing so much work as it stands. It's 0 Jomo Cosmos and 0 Club Brugge at the interval. Stay with your World of Champions and join us after this as we take you through the first half highlights.
Back during the halftime break at the Nike Center in Soweto.